What's up, YouTube? Has anybody else noticed using like Google Talk to Text or anything like that? It tries to change what the fuck you write. Like you can read it and it'll say everything the right way, the way you want to say it. As soon as you hit send, it changes words and what you said. Yeah, it won't be written the way it was when you hit send. Yeah, it's almost like Google tries to make you look stupid on purpose or sound stupid. Well, the one creator of Google and owner was found on Epstein Island. Uh, how do you know it's not letting people do that? Sure as hell seems like it. Well, I speak clear enough and I don't have an accent like that, so there's no reason why it should be fucking up the way it does. I said something about, how Eve talking to the snake created the serpent worshippers and all that, which were Cain's bloodline, the cannibals, yes. The ones that have it in their brain to take out God's creation and, fill the earth with their own. Yeah, that would be this bad Jewish bloodline that messed with every war, literally started every war, literally everyone. Um, what's funny is a lot of people think that the Rothschilds only appeared in the 1700s. You all are fucking idiots. The Rothschilds have been known for a while. Uh, the R.C. Christian that built the Georgia Guidestones, a lot of people believe that that is Rosicrucians. Well, they call themselves the Rosicrucians. They don't call themselves the Rosicrucian Christians, for one. Also, the same family that I'm talking about runs that too. Yeah, they started a lot of religions off of Jesus's religion. They started a lot. They're the ones that started Islam. They're the ones that started pretty much every religion you see that tries to mirror Jesus' religion. Every one of them. Yeah, Vlad the Impaler, Rome, the way they ran Rome trying to take over Christianity and then make it a part of the Vatican and all this shit. That was Rome that did all that. That's when they changed the day of worship. And it's funny because the Rothschild family is the one that controlled the Vatican and still does. And a lot of people are bringing up this family with the O in their name. No, that's just a sidebar. Rothschilds are the ones that fill that bloodline. Okay. Also, a lot of families with the Steen at the end, Weinstein, Epstein, you know, yeah. And we still have a Weinstein giving us information. Really? Why are we listening to that family? Every time I see their faces, just the way their nose and the way they act and all that, it reminds me of my ex's mom and her family. Yeah, a bunch of dirty motherfuckers. I mean, sick minded, evil, dirty motherfuckers. That's what I mean by, well, in this context that I'm using it. But anyway, that's where all this bad bloodline stuff came from. Canaanites. They branched out into just about everything. I don't know if Attila the Hun was a part of them or not. Sure as hell seems like it, because that's exactly what Cain's bloodline did. They went out to destroy God's creation. Remember, they had the same hatred in their bloodline and heart that Cain did towards Abel. Right? So they hated anything good and wanted to destroy it or, you know, disrupt it. Which is kind of the same thing that goes on with siblings today. Yeah, the older ones always get jealous of the younger ones. They do. And then the older ones try to mess with, the younger ones, or the younger ones notice that and they try to mess with the older ones, which, you know, as kids seem to be cute and funny, but it's not really. Well, they don't ever really grow out of it either. I think that's another part of it, you know, putting problems in between families. Well, family and, you know, having kids and a wife was one of the biggest things with God. So, of course, the devil, that was the first thing the devil attacked. It's his way in. Yeah. If Eve would have never entertained what was going on with that snake in the garden, this would have never came about, which means you would never have evil. But she didn't do that. And think about it, it still happens today. There are evil women out there that walk around acting like they're, the most innocent thing ever. And they are deliberately hell bent and set on ruining anybody's life that they can, including their own. They don't give a shit. And look at, just step back and look at women's overall real nature and look at men's. You have evil males, you have evil women, and you have decent males and decent women. Not too many decent males or females nowadays. But the point is, you can see it in females all the time. Well, just like with my life, all the expensive shit that all these girls wanted. It's the only reason why I was working and doing that. It was for them. I didn't I didn't want none of that shit. I wanted to go off grid, build me. the biggest off-grid site I had ever seen. Half tempted to build me a couple of tree houses because that shit looks awesome. I don't care what anybody says, that would be fun. What happens when you get older? Yeah, well, I'll figure that out when it comes to it. I did. That's how I wanted to live. But of course, you couldn't get none of these women that I was around to really agree to any of that. So I tried to embrace, what I could from living this lifestyle. That's what happens when you let women make decisions. Right downhill it goes. Meow. What's really weird is nowadays, if you're not a big 6 foot fucking huge monster or military or a woman, you ain't really getting anything done. Yeah, you're not under the Antichrist little arm that he wants you to be under. So you get kicked out, which is fine. The Reunion, Laguna Beach. Fuck you, Laguna Beach. Yeah, that was a show that Tiff was all wrapped up in. Fucking retarded ass show. Yeah, that's where she got one of Talon's name from. And she tried to spell it like a fucking moron. I don't know. She just, I guess she was trying to be ghetto or black. I don't fucking know. She kept saying that she wanted, names that weren't common. And then she picked names that were common, well, agreed to them. Because with Kirsten, she couldn't figure out a name for her at all. Nolan was named by me. Kirsten was named by me. Talon was named by me. She picked the first name. And David Jr. was named by her. She wanted him named after me. I didn't want him to have my name. But of course, I don't get a say in the matter. I didn't care if they all had my last name. I just didn't want a child named after me. That was supposed to be Kyle's. And boy, did that get all fucked up. Yeah, this is what happens when you give fucking psycho women fucking control over anything important. Oh, yeah, there's couple of CIA dudes that are going around supposedly, you know, spilling secrets about the CIA. You are not, you lying motherfuckers. Anybody that trusts anything that comes out of the CIA's mouth, you're an idiot. I don't care how genuine and truthful it seems. Yeah, they recruit people that have sociopathic tendencies. Do you know what a sociopath will do? they will go and talk people into doing shit for them. If they want somebody taken out or this, that, and the other, they will covertly manipulate their mind into doing what this person wants. And this is why the CIA will recruit. All they tell you blatantly that they will recruit sociopathic tendency people. Which, if it's a sociopath, how do you know that they're not playing that they have tendencies and not the actual thing? And also, see, it's so wide spoken tendencies. I mean, that could be something that, happens a lot, which makes them borderline freaking, sociopathic, as in they have so many tendencies of that they're borderlining on being a actual sociopath. See how they make all these little dissection labels that to us really doesn't make any difference. These people still do the same shit. That also means that they're probably most likely recruiting BPD people. We already know that our armed forces are recruiting and hiring witches and warlocks. I don't know how many warlocks we have as generals. Well, some of them call themselves warlocks, other ones call themselves just, Grand Master Satanists, which is the same damn thing. Everybody thinks it's different. No, it's not. I really can't wait until we all just get a chance to handle the shit that we should have handled years ago. Yeah, 70s, 80s, and 60s, y'all were such badasses, right? How come all this slipped through your fingers? All right, alcohol, drugs, and women. Got it. Yeah, a lot of people are calling the baby boomers and Gen X the devil's generation. Well, think about it. In that generation, there was a lot of jazz music that hit the scene. There was more popular. It was all the rock and roll that hit the scene. Most of, just about 90% of that was all hellacious music. Every bit of it. Well, kind of like me and Jen's story. That right there, dude. Yeah, I don't know how women are able to do that shit and just get away with it. Probably because of the manipulation over the masses, just making people believe that, all men will do these types of things when every statistic I've ever looked at shows that women are 93% more likely to commit all these things. And I didn't even start even looking at all that stuff until here recently because anything you would look up would it would always be man, man, men, 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 men. It was like what women were doing wasn't even being reported. And our society is fucking sick. You have teachers sleeping with underage students. And I'm talking about in groups, openly talking about this shit to the class. It's disgusting. But they get probation. Fucking probation. Wow. All because the community is filled with a bunch of F boys that are like, yeah, you can't rape the willing, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you can. Yeah, I don't get it. It's like women have a free pass to do whatever the fuck they want. As long as they do it under certain circumstances, they're good. It's insane. And they're still believed to be the best or one of the best freaking races or genders on the planet. What? Now you all sound like JD Vance. Oh, that dude was digging for all kinds of bullshit trying to, take up for Erica. Why the fuck you care so much, dude? You guys just hijacked Charlie's movement, took over his group, and then tried to act like it was your own. Just because that was the group he created because he thought the same things that we did. Imagine that. Tricked again by government. That's why you don't trust government. Every fucking time I've ever trusted government, dude, it has happened just this way. The first term for Obama. Hell yeah, I voted for his dumbass. Then he starts trying to take away all kinds of stuff, which, see, this is what I'm talking about that Antichrist spirit. Because he was right about the holidays being pagan, but the other things he was trying to do was also wrong. Him giving riot gear to all police departments around the U.S., him sending old, like, x ray equipment and stuff just to go and sit in junkyards and, in certain states around the United States because it let off radiation. Yeah, that's why the train in Ohio was caught on fire and wrecked and all that. And what was it carrying? Teflon. What is Teflon? Another cancer causing agent, especially when it is on fire. And now the ground is saturated with cancer causing agents, and nobody seems to really figure out why. Yeah, right. You have a group of people that have robots to do their bidding and they don't need you. These people want to kill you and eat you, and people act like it's like a sci-fi movie that's just gonna go away. No, it's not. Remember all the stories we would hear about body snatchers and this, that, and the other? Yeah. I mean, the way laws are laid out, it should tell you that you have a satanic cannibal somewhere making laws, because the laws go right around being a cannibal. They go right around certain things, almost like they're paving a. Dude, nobody wants to watch this Laguna Beach shit, so stop fucking kicking me back to it. It's just fucking stupid. Like, if you really sit back and look, you can see how everything, you know, paves a path for satanic shit to happen. Just like when they started allowing abortions, and they were actually entertaining possibly allowing abortion up to 18. And as pissed off as I am at my son for what he did with his mother and his nana, as pissed off as I am at what Jasmine has become, I still wouldn't vote for something like that. Fuck no. Yeah, that's just a way for women to get out of the spotlight of cheating on their husbands. Well, think about it. They can go out, sleep with a dude. I mean, they already have a fucking, what is it, the morning after pill, which is the same thing. You're still committing an abortion. I think it's funny all these younger generations get into science class and they figure out, oh, you're a clump of cells. Everything's a fucking clump of cells, you moron. You are. Your parents are. Your siblings are. Your fucking friends are. You dipshits. Fucking air is nothing but a bunch of fucking shit all stuck together that we call oxygen. Just like water. All H2O is it? So how come you can't make it? Right? I just think it's hilarious. And now they think if they like, you know, complete high school or college, they're some type of fucking genius. No. That just shows that you're going to be a good slave. That's it. That's all that shows. Do you get rewarded for it? Not really. You still have to go out there and find a job. You still have to go out there and get experience in a field. Doesn't matter how much schooling you have. There are plenty of people that come out of college, top of their field, and never get a job in their field, ever. Maybe that's because no matter how much they were taught, they suck at it. Yeah, it's a lot different reading from a book than it is actually doing it. You find out that those books don't know what the fuck they're talking about 75% of the time. And you were better just going into the freaking field, not knowing anything, learning off the people that have been in it and doing it for a long time. Do you have to be careful of that? Yes. Some people want you to become better than them, other people do not. Yeah, some people realize that, the younger generation has to be smarter than the generation before, or things don't get figured out and solved the way they should. Then you have the ones that want to mess with that, and for multiple different sinister reasons. So that's another factor that plays in. Men panic after government forces automatic draft registration. We told you depopulation was coming. Of course, they're going to start with the U.S. military first. I swear, once all this stuff really hits the fan and people wake up and see that this is actually what they were going for, they're going to be like, how come we weren't ready or noticed this? Oh, everybody told you. And They raised the age to 42, but I don't want to be a part of a demonic army. I really don't. And yes, that is a demonic fucking army. That is not a military group that is for God. That is a military group for something else. Trust me. It's the only reason why my brother actually went into the army. Because his little brother was trying to go into Marines. I've already told this story multiple times. Yeah, I also didn't know how my mom was going to react to that. She told us that if we went into the military that she would hurt us herself because she didn't give birth to a target. Oh yeah, once my brother went in, dude, that shit went out the window. Right, if I would have went in first and all that, she would have ignored me and been mad at me. Oh yeah. But because it was my brother, Mister cannot do no wrong no matter what he does. Sounds like you're jealous of your brother. No, trust me, that's not jealousy. My brother's a piece of shit. There's no reason why he should have made it into anything that even. Hmm. See, that's what's so tricky about this Antichrist spirit. It's because it makes everybody believe that it is here for good, and it's not. And there are a lot of people that believe the military is here for good. They're not. I can tell you right now, every military personnel I have ever met, every one of them thinks that because they fought for this country and all that, that your family is their personal playground. Yeah. If you try to honor them or anything like that, or social show support for the shit that they have been through, whether they were a real hero or not, they always catch an attitude and act like you don't know this, you don't know that. We know a lot more than what the fuck you think. You act like we ain't subject to shit like that back here. Maybe not to that scale, but we are. We also didn't choose to go into a battle just for attention. Yes, that's what most of them go in for. It's a bunch of bullshit. I think they deliberately dumbed down this other generation just so they could send them to war so they could do more mass depopulation. There's also a lot of these war guys that know what has went on these bases. And I hate to say it, but a lot of the dudes that joined that were my age, dude, you all chose to join at the wrong fucking time, man. Maybe that's why I was kept out of it. No, I think it was God that kept me out of it. I really do, because I tried hard as hell to go in. Hollywood is terrifying. Yeah, no shit. It's not terrifying, it's sickening. Y'all are scared of what? a bunch of humans that think that they're supernatural. Fuck out of here. The AI boom is alive. Fake data centers and unused GPUs. Ex CIA reveals how Israel forced Trump to bomb Iran. Obviously, they threatened him with assassins. Because as soon as the assassins stopped, he started going to war. That's why. And all that could have been acting, people acting. Well, why would people do that and get arrested? Because they're going to be let off. That's why. Are we at the prisons making sure these people are there every day? No. So we don't know. We just believe it because we were told they're there. I mean, come on, y'all should have seen that our judicial system lies to us when. What do you mean she was there? No shit. Her kids and her were there, you dumbass. I want to know who left on the private jet and turned off their transponder. That's what I want to know. And how come it showed it going to Arizona and then it showed one flight plan, even though they turned off the transponder. Then it showed another one. And we still haven't figured out who the fuck was on that plane. Yeah, you got a shooting going on, and all of a sudden a fucking private jet with enough time for a shooter to get from there to the airfield and leave is leaving the runway. Uh, isn't all that shit supposed to be shut down? Isn't all that stuff supposed to be watched? Yeah, it was the locals and other people talking about it. The cops and all that didn't even bring it up. They completely ignored it, even though there was a private airstrip very close to the university where Charlie was shot. And very shortly after, there's a private jet that turns off its location and takes off, which is supposed to be against the law. But apparently, anything goes with these idiots. I want to know who was on that plane. Yeah, I don't think Erica did it herself. I think she knew who was going to do it. Yes, I do believe she knew all about it. Just like I know for a fact my ex knew all about what was going on with the kids. I know it. That's probably why I relate to this and can see the holes in this bitch's story. I don't know why everybody thinks just because, you know, people might seem attractive to other people that they didn't do anything wrong. Uh, that doesn't mean they didn't do anything wrong. And y'all better really fucking watch yourselves, dude. Because a lot of you are giving this bitch the benefit of the doubt just because you find her attractive. She's not attractive. Y'all don't know what attractive is in a woman anymore. It's like most of you think like fuckboys, man. Maybe this is why women just act fucking nuts. Why not? Men are going to give them attention anyway. They still get to do all the dumb shit that they do. So, why not, right? U.S. government hires us to kill these creatures. They are here to kill us. Yeah, right. Don't you all also think it's funny that all this fallen angel technology, aka alien technology, is leading us all into more and more satanic territory? Well, that's funny. It was created by the fallen ones. We weren't supposed to accept it because it was evil, and every time this stuff comes out, more evil stuff comes out. And see this stuff right here. White men made me do, you know, porn and all this bullshit. Bullshit. Let me tell you something. When I was younger, I was around pretty much nothing but women. There were a few men around, but not as much as women were. And let me tell you, the shit that these bitches would do. Oh yeah, and then just totally believe that they were innocent. They know damn well they weren't, and they'll even say that in the middle of their fucking conversation with their friend. Because sometimes they would tell their friend, and their friend would even catch, pick up on, dude, that was your fault, and they'd be like, I know, but we're telling it my way. This is my truth. Blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, that's the story that everybody's believing, and I'm over here like, I just heard you bitches making up this story. How the fuck is everybody believing that? And it's because they go to a group that wasn't around that finds them interesting or attractive. Yeah, they know who to go to get it spread the right way. You know how gossip and all that starts and people start believing rumors and all this shit? Yeah, that's where it comes from, right there. Oh yeah, they used to do that shit in school, spread rumors about dudes and chicks, so you know they could get to date the dude that they wanted to date. Cause oh my gosh, it was just such an important thing. These fucking women are psycho. Yeah, you can't talk any sense into them. You can't fucking get them to stop being evil and all this other shit. Just like the Me Too movement, which is very tricky, and they did it that way for a reason. That way, people wouldn't fuck with the movement. And let me tell you something. That whole movement, these women can deny it till the day they die. I don't care. I was there when it started. I watched how it started and why. And it had nothing to do with SA or anything like that. That is just their go-to move anytime they want to win something is SA. Every fucking time, dude. Now, do you have perverted males that would probably try to push women into that? Yeah. And these women marry them. They date them forever. These are the men that they are the males that they have such a problem with that they keep running after. These are the ones that have figured out that if they keep you jealous and chasing them, they don't have time to really do all the shit against him. So basically, they're just doing it before she does it. Some of them won't cheat on their wife or whoever they're with. Some of them will just, play emotional games to keep her on her toes. And that's a bunch of bullshit. You got to play these psychological games with your partner just to keep them busy and entertained so they don't do dumb shit against the relationship. Heh, sounds like control to me. Well, to an extent, it is, especially when you catch a partner cheating and you tell them, you know, because they won't get the fuck off your leg and let you leave. So you make a deal trying to get them to understand, thinking that, you know, they might actually fucking level with you. No, they're not. They will tell you whatever they want to hear to get what they want, and then they will keep doing the same shit that they do. Well, like these young girls, man. Do you know how many young girls will run around at a young age being promiscuous, run tricking older men into letting them hang out with their groups and all this shit? I've watched plenty of young girls doing that, thinking that, this is what we want to do. And if you think about it, um, when they're a little bit younger than that, a lot of them, when I was a kid, always wanted to play what they called house. Pretend that your mom and dad and you're raising babies and all this other bullshit. And it was always the girls that wanted to do that. Always. Every fucking time. I never once seen a boy suggest that. Ever. Yes, a lot of times it was innocent. It was just, goofing off and having an imagination. Sometimes it did not go that way. I watched my daughter Kirsten try to sneak off to the park when we were having a birthday party. And all the kids knew that they had to stay close until, we did cake, presents. Then everybody could go party, play at the park. Well, where I'm running this birthday party and I'm happen to keep an eye on her because she is paying attention to us paying attention to her. And she is slowly making her way to that park. And I would have to, Kirsten, get back here. And she'd stomp her feet and come back. What I mean is, you see how she's paying attention to who's watching her. Right. And when she notices your attention on her, she would dilly dally and act like she wasn't doing nothing. But as soon as she seen that you were distracted, she would start gaining ground towards what she wanted. Now that part, even though she was going against the rule, was still kind of innocent. You know what I mean? It's just trying to sneak off to the park. But that same scenario, girls would use to do stuff like that. Uh, my mom and her friends and her kids, they would do shit like that. Oh yeah, and then try and act like they were so innocent. One of my mom's friends, she had two daughters, and that's what she would do, is so she could stay home. Is she would date one guy, get him to pay for anything she needs throughout the year. Then she would be dating another guy and have him pay for the other child. Uh, are we forgetting that you are supposed to be doing this? I understand their dad doesn't really supposedly help out, and judging by what mom's doing, I can see why. Yeah, you don't understand. Paying that and it's for the kid. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because they will take that money, they will use it for other shit, and they will go and get free stuff from the state. Your kids will look like trash. Your money will be spent on shit that does not have anything to do with them. And then when people ask, well, why are you having such a hard time? They will tell them, oh, because you don't do, father doesn't help out, blah, 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 blah. When you're the only one helping out. And once you stop helping because they're doing that, they will go to other men, try to make you look like this or that, why this other guy is paying for what this woman should be doing, and they try to blame it on you. And it's hilarious. No. You realize with that child, there's two people that are supposed to be taking care of that child, okay? If she's sitting at home, not working, you're the one doing it all, no matter what excuse she comes up with, and that's not your child. You are paying for her portion of taking care of that child. She is not. You are. And a lot of men, because they'll love all over this man and act like they love him because he's taking care of her work. Yeah, no shit. Of course she loves you for taking care of her work. Only why you're playing the fucking manipulated part. Once you realize and start telling her, hey, get a fucking job, that's when all the problems are going to start. Oh, yeah. Or she'll get a job for a little bit or lie to you about getting a job. Trust me, all those things will happen. See, it's going along with the manipulation of Cain and all them by working and all this stuff. Yes, I know. But this is the life they chose. This is the life they want to live. But they don't want to work it. Yeah, Jen did this the whole time she was supposedly raising Jazz. Her dad raised Jazz more than she did. The reason why she didn't want me taking care of Jazz is because I made her look stupid without even trying. I wasn't even killing myself to make sure this child was taken care of. All I was doing was not buying myself stuff or my girlfriend stuff. The money was going to Jazz. And she was cool with that until, we'd start hitting like tough spots throughout the year, which was her fault. Always wanting to fucking do these big, expensive, fucking extravagant fucking holidays. Every time I turn around, it's another fucking thing to celebrate. It's like, dude, are you serious? Big business loves you because all you do is spend fucking money. I hate that about women, man. They will fucking waste money like a motherfucker. And when you turn around and show them that they were the culprits of 90% of that money being wasted, they get mad. Yeah, I learned budgeting and all that from my uncle. He would teach me, to not really pay attention to the amount that I was spending for a couple of months, but write down all the way to the penny everything I spent for a couple months. And then at the end of that, I was supposed to go through and put a W and an N next to the stuff that I wanted and the stuff that I needed. And it would show me where I could save money. Well, I applied that to me and her and our spending because, dude, she would spend so much fucking money and cost us so much money and then turn around and be like, it's all your fault. How the fuck is that? I go to work, I come home, I buy cigarettes, maybe an eighth of weed a week. That's like not even $100 a week. and I'm making thousands. So, how? No, it's you running here, running there, wanting to buy this, wanting to see that, wanting to do this, wanting to do that before you have anything established yet. Yeah, the night I did the chiropractor job, which was a Saturday. I don't work on Saturdays, but I'm working on Saturday. I worked overnight. I started at 7. We started the job at 7. I was at the warehouse at 6. Started the job at 7 Saturday morning. We didn't get done until about 1, 2 o'clock Sunday morning. The reason why it took me until 1, 2 o'clock Sunday morning is because I had a 2-hour lunch with Tiffany and the kids. She drove up there, which was amazing because I had to talk her into that because, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Well, you always say that we don't spend that much time together. So I finally got Uncle John to agree to letting them come up and eat lunch and see the job that we were doing, which costed us 2 hours of work, which that's a lot, especially when you're a production worker. We could have had another quarter of that job done, probably more. But that wasn't the point. I brought him up there. We all sat down. We ate pizza. I was surprised that Uncle John actually took a fucking lunch break. Now, of course, I pay for it the whole fucking week. Oh, yeah. Fucking worked like a dog, all because I had lunch with my family. Yeah. I think dogs get a better fucking work schedule. But anyway, it was fine. I'm just saying what happened. I went out, and because, it was Easter, technically, Walmart had put Easter baskets and all that on clearance, and some idiot had marked them for $1.50 a basket. The big ones that they normally sell for a lot more than that. So I bought each one of the kids a double bag, whole bunch of candy, a double basket, two each, and tons of candy. I mean, loads. And yeah, you see the picture of me in my Eagles shirt that Jasmine got me, which I still don't know where any of those went. And I had a lot of nice clothes that just, for some reason, would just disappear. Yeah, every time I had something that was nice, it would just disappear. Imagine that. Just like Jazzy's pink egg that she made me. And I've told a lot of people this. I cannot stand the color pink. I can't. Don't like it at all. But that egg wasn't going nowhere. Tiffany knew it. She got rid of it, and it pissed me off. Yeah, I was gonna put it in epoxy and all that. That way, couldn't stain, couldn't, anything like that. But the day I come home to do it, it's missing. Imagine that. Yeah, I brought everything home to do it. I was gonna put in a epoxy square baseball case holder. That way, I'd always have it. But nope, of course not. Oh, she didn't like me having a bond with our own kids, let alone Jazzy. She didn't. She fucking hated it. No, in front of everybody else, she would play the, oh, it's so great, this, that, and the other. As long as I'm around. Now, if I wasn't around, who knows? It could be all kinds of different fucking stories. Poor Kyle, man. I know you were in a fucked up family because of your grandmother and your mother, but as you see, your dad was always tangled. Yeah, I know. Girls acting sweet, acting like they were just having a rough life. Yeah, your dad fell for that. I just hope you all don't, man. Because, dude, ladies are great. Women are not. Men, most of the time, great. Immature F boys, not so much. They're the equivalent of a gold digging hoe. They act the same, they do the same, they think the same. Yes, freaking insane.